Okay, so here we go. We are recording. All right, so how do you move from 2D to 3D? There's a lot of ways to do it. I'm going to get you to turn on a couple toolbars and then work with a couple very simple tools. We're going to do something fairly easy. I'll show you how you would turn your 2D into 3D this way. Okay. We have a fairly complex drawing here. Number 40 has a lot going on. Now, how do we move to 3D? Well, the first thing you want to do is copy, Control C, Control V, and I'm just going to paste the work down off to the right here, and then I'm going to turn off my dimensions and text, and I want to work on, let's say, I'm going to give myself 2 new layers, and we'll go solid 1, and we'll go ahead and make sure the light bulb's on, and we'll set it at a different color. We'll pick from the palette up here now, and I'm going to make a second layer called solid 2, and this is the reason we're making 2 different layers for solids is so that sometimes when we want to subtract one from another, it's best that they're on 2 different layers, 2 different colors, so we can see what's happening. Now, I'll close this, and I'm working on a layer right now that's turned off. I should really work on, say, the solid 1 layer. Now, the way you want to work with this is you want to kind of look at the object and see where you can. We don't need any of that stuff. I can delete it permanently. There's a second copy of this anyway. We just need object lines. So now we have to think about what we can or cannot extrude. You guys use SketchUp so you understand extrusion. Line weight's on right now. I can turn that off at the bottom. So I think what I'll do is I'll extrude this. Let me just ditch the bottom here and draw a line straight across and turn on ortho. Now when you're going to extrude something, it has to be closed. Alright, so your geometry has to be spot on. I'll go ahead and delete this stuff, and I know you're wondering where I'm headed with this, but just give me a second here. Now all I'm going to do is turn on a couple tools. I'm going to go turn on modeling, and the modeling toolbar just came on. It's right here. I'll go to visual styles. That'll, like, I've got some different shading options, and I'll also turn on views so that I can look at it from different views, and we'll also go to solid editing. So we are turning on 4 new toolbars. Now this is what we'll do. I'll go ahead into an isometric look. Alright, and that was very quickly done by choosing one of the isometric options. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I tend to old school it. They've brought in some new tools with the new products, but I think this is actually more simple than having everything on the screen. If your geometry is correct, all you have to do is press pull them. Here's press pull, and you'll see the object light up just like it did when you get over top of it, and you just click inside, give it a second, and you're actually pulling it, see? And I'll go ahead and type in, that base is 3/8 of an inch, right? Or, yeah, it's 3/8, so 3/8, I'll hit enter. And then this thing is actually 1/2 of an inch. Alright, so I'll go I'll extrude it, press pull, and I'll go up. Object snap can get you in trouble. Just get it far away from it so it doesn't drag you down. And there's a 1/2 inch. Now this piece actually needs some modifications because eventually it's going to have to go underneath this, but let's take a look at what I've done here. We've been actually drawing in the top view. This is oriented correctly, but this is not oriented correctly. That really should be the front view. So I'll Control X, I'll delete it, and then I'm going to go to what should be the front view and paste it, Control V. So in other words, it's reoriented to the object, okay? And I just happen to have it by that end, so I'm just going to stick it right on top of there. I'll go to the isometric view, and we're looking okay except for the object is not placed properly and the one underneath it is not really ready for it either. I'll turn on some shading and you'll see. I'm going to hold shift down and middle mouse and I can spin this and see what's going on here. This object really needs to be moved from here right to there. And I did that easily because OSnap was on and endpoint and intersection. All I have to do is extend this face out underneath this by a 1/2 inch. Now there is an option right there. It's called I'm looking for extrude face. There, extrude face. I'll choose this face to extrude. I'll hit enter and it wants a path. So I'll go ahead and type in 0.5 and hit enter and no taper, enter. So I'll go ahead and just take a look at the object. If I don't want that line to appear, I can then actually take and use one of these tools. You can either unite them, subtract one from another, or grab what an object has in common with another. With those three particular tools, it's amazing what you can do with this, let alone all of the video that I could show you on the things that they've built into this product now three-dimensionally. I'll go ahead and unite them. I'll hit them both, hit enter, and now the two of them are as one, okay? And I think we need to have a applause.